Hey, what's up you guys? Xeno back again on another video. Welcome to the 100th video on my channel, a whole month after I posted my last video. And today I want to talk about something. So, a couple days ago I was on Discord, right, talking with some friends. And someone said, the Tomb Raider games are like Uncharted. And I was blown away, because I know the older games might be like Uncharted, even though this predecesses Uncharted as a whole. I was thinking, but the newer trilogy, though, it's so different from Uncharted. And I wanted to make a video on this. How the newer games are so different from Uncharted. And I really want to talk about it because the studio really could have gone the way of Uncharted. They could have been, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? We could just make a cash grab Tomb Raider game where it's just like Uncharted, just Lara Croft's in there, but they didn't. And that's what I find so interesting and why these games have captivated me. So, while I'm playing my favorite of the trilogy, Rise of the Tomb Raider, let's get into it. So, the main gameplay loop of Rise of the Tomb Raider is walking around these open worlds, which is a lot different from Uncharted, and completing the mission objectives that come with the main missions. Now, these main missions are very well made in all three of them. Well, I can't speak to the first one because I just bought it, but for the last two, they are extremely well made. The story is backed up really well. But something different from Uncharted is you can take multiple different routes. For example, on the Soviet mine in Rise of the Tomb Raider, there is 4 or 5 different pathways you can take to get to these enemies. And it's just amazing to see that they can make all these different things. And I know this is a cliche thing to say, but the newer Tomb Raiders are very, very Breath of the Wild-like. And when I say Breath of the Wild-like, I mean they are open world, it's a lot of resource gathering, and it's a very choose-your-own adventure. There's side quests and such, but it's so interesting how these newer Tomb Raider games can just form out, and the studio took their time and they knew the IP that this was from, and they were like, let's change it up a bit, and they made a survival, open world, crafting, and they could have just been Uncharted, but with a woman, like how Uncharted Lost Legacy was. But it's so much more than that, and that's why I like these games so much, especially because of how much I played Uncharted, how stale it's gotten for me. I can't even go back to some of the games because I've played them so many times. But Rise of the Tomb Raider, I'm on my second playthrough. I'm trying to go for 100%, and I'm loving it all the way through. It's so interesting, and the environments for such a small gigabyte size, it's amazing how much detail they can put in the world with all the voice notes, all the fucking notes they can put around the game to build up this world, how detailed everything is, how fun the gunplay is. And it's amazing because you would never think this could be this good when it could have just been the alternative. 3 kind of mid Uncharted-like games. And I'm really enjoying it. And I've enjoyed it for quite a while now. I've been playing Rise of the Tomb Raider for over a year now, probably. I took a long break, obviously, because it's just a story game. But it's just so interesting how good games like these can be when a studio actually applies something. Now that this is the 100th video, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who has helped me along these 2 years to get to this point. And I would also like to express some plans for the future. So for the future, we are doing a Dying Light 2 review, because I bought that game, thank God, it's such a good game, but I have not finished it. We'll also be doing some Elden Ring reviews. I want to do some more music stuff, especially on my favorite song naming trope in experimental rap. I also want to do a Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1 semi-review. And there's just so much stuff I want to do soon. And I know I took a long-ass break. I know this video's not going to go out of views. But thank you to everyone, especially my very good friends like Dakota and Aaron. Shout out to you guys. My mother. Thanks, Mom. And thanks for getting me up to this point. And yeah, see ya.